Can't quit him. Kadyn Proctor, can't quit him. We just talked about him. He's just so physically imposing. Um, he's just got mass, his length. He's only going to be 20 on draft weekend. Um, he's one of the youngest players in the draft. He can move well for his size. He's got lower body mass. Um, I think inside he is going to be much better. I don't wouldn't want him playing in space. He tends to be a bit lumbering when he's climbing or pulling. But his straight line burst and his ability to generate power makes him just such a unique physical specimen. He can just uproot defenders, move them in the run game. He can throw people aside. He can collapse an edge and create lanes. In pass protection, he has dominant flashes, but he sometimes has lapses as well. He's got a really strong anchor when he sinks down. He's so difficult to move. His initial set is quite explosive. Gets in that set very quickly. His profile, there's just so many good things and so many bad things as well. It's such a difficult one for me, but I think just if you get him right and get him at guard, he could just be an absolute dominant force. And I just couldn't quit him. I quit on him as a tackle, but I can't quit on him as playing him someone on the interior. And I think there's so much potential there.
Yeah, you said could be about 5 times there, and I think
Yeah,
I thought
I'm 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 betting on it, and I've been wrong before. I've bet on ones that right, and I've been bet on ones that wrong. There's something
that's
about
the
him I just
game.
can't quit.
Yeah, that's
I
the game.
just can't quit him. There's lots of quit on early and shouldn't, but I just can't quit him for some reason. I don't know what it is.
That's
It's
fair
just I
enough.
think there's something there.
I wasn't particularly there in the first place. And I know how
Yeah,
difficult it is once you've got something in your head and maybe you
I
don't
know.
see it to let it go. That there'll be players that bring up throughout these top fives that we talked about last episode. We spoke about Peter Woods. There's probably a bit of that mentality there with me, and
Hmm.
it's such that it just happens. But yeah, I really struggle with Kadyn Proctor because I really don't know what I'm meant to do with him. He's just big. Um, he's
He is.
massive. That he's physically overwhelming. There's no doubt about it, and there's no doubt that he's improving in his pass protection. But I think he lacks any real polish. I don't think his movement skills are particularly rare, and you wouldn't expect them to be at 6'7", £366. But he is able to blend that power and length and some athletic upside to be a project. I'm just not sure that if I was to buy into a project, that's the project I'm buying into. I think I could talk myself into a different project ahead of him. I would
Yeah,
almost let him be someone else's mistake if that's what's going to happen. That if if
yeah.
you're going to be wrong, just let someone else deal with it. Is kind of the mentality I think I would have with Kadyn Proctor. That he when he takes to the field, he just looks different, and that's why it's so difficult to get away from him. Right, that the moment he steps on the field, he's just a man in a boy's game, and he is able, and he is growing with his technical ability. I don't want to shy away from that. There's absolutely no doubt that he is improving, um, but I think he wins with more opposing long arms, massive wingspan, thick lower half, where Russia's eight will struggle to get around him. And I think that's probably why he's going to work on the inside. Right? Is that how are you going to get around a guy of this size? Is it that kind of that initial engagement when he wins it? There's no way you're going to displace him because of how big he is. And early in his career, that's what you're going to be relying on. And for his size, he's super athletic for a player that's 360 plus pounds. He moves like a player that's 30 pounds lighter than him. But see, my problem is that I think you're right. He will have to play guard at the next level because he has issues with speed. He can't win on an island against speed rushers because I don't think he's able to turn his hips and turn the corner adequately. And I do think he's going to have to cut significant weight, especially if he's going to play tackle and win on an island, because I just don't think his conditioning's there to play a full game at the NFL at the moment. Meanwhile, there is his punch can be far too early and can be countered, and he has problems with balance. And he's 6'7", 360 pounds. What you're going to do? But he plays far too tall. I just don't think he has the knee bend to get down low enough. Either, well, which means that his technique can slip. So, look, there's traits. It's traits over technique, right?
Hmm.
I'm
It's not like
very
makes it go,
interested
but
to see what happens with him. Yeah,
I just have this vision of him playing as a guard, throwing defensive linemen out of the way for his gap runner. and he'll just create lanes for them. That's what I see him doing, and just going up against some big, beefy defensive linemen in just a battle, which he's got enough to win. I don't know what it is. I just can't quit him. Again, we've talked about this traits versus now, and it's not something I usually go for all the time, but I don't know. There's just something about Kadyn Proctor I like watching, and I just have a feeling that he's going to come good.
No, that's right. But that's how you draft players. That you almost when there's a traitsy player, you take your gamble with that player. You can't do it with every single player, but at some
Yeah,
point you're going to have to where there's an outlier, an athletic outlier, you choose your bets. And fair play, he's a big bet to bet on, but a massive one to bet on.
mm,
But if it's going to come right, then fair play. I think the kind of the Mekhi Becton experience is kind of got a
yeah,
lot of people triggered when it comes to Kadyn
I
Proctor.
totally get that.